the Red Bull Romaniacs rally. Welcome to the Carpathian Mountains in Romania for this 6-day-long hard enduro rally through the home of the one and only Vlad the Impaler, otherwise known in popular literature as Dracula. You know what? He used to like to throw people out the back window of his castle onto the rocks below, hence the name Vlad the Impaler, and legend just took him on to become Dracula. Well, this race is a monster through the Carpathian Mountains. These guys on motorcycles will be doing all sorts of madness out there, working hard, pushing hard, and being technically proficient in this beautiful landscape known as Romania. Check it out. We've got the Red Bull Romaniacs on screen, on fire, and on the go. I wanted to show the world how beautiful Romania is, how hospitable the people are over here, and I wanted to give the world's best riders an opportunity to show off their very best riding. The upcoming scenes will prove that. Check it out. Well, the In-city Prolog over artificial obstacles in the heart of the town of Sibiu, in front of over 5,000 cheering spectators, opened this fantastic event. These guys had to navigate this course, as you see right here, of logs vertically, horizontally, and, well, all sorts of different obstacles, including tires, etc., etc.
Right now we start to the rally. Rock and roll.
Well, as you saw, tree logs of all sizes and layouts, truck tires, and a line of wrecked cars were to be the obstacles for these ride in a 15-minute heat, determining only the starting order of the next stage. But as soon as the flag dropped, the bullshit stopped and everybody was ready to go and anxious. And the action started right off the bat inside the city center. While the riders were amped by the crowd of 5,000 people on hand that came to watch this action, some of them pushing a little bit harder than they should have, and, suffering for it. There you see Sibiu going over the cars. Here we see Sibiu, the Suomi rider, going down, pushing a little too hard over the logs. No harm done there. Again, Sibiu, the Frenchman, endoing right over, and the bike lying on top of him as he goes through the truck tires. Sibiu once again through the logs going down, and Christian Pfeiffer with a big air. It's been 10 years since the first time I came down here with Martin to check out the riding conditions, and already then Martin was convinced that Romania offers the perfect spot for an enduro. This is confirmed this year, and now Martin organized his first ever international rally. He's got the world's best riders here, and I'm with it. This has been a dream for me, which now comes true, and downtown here in Sibiu has been a perfect show, and tomorrow the serious part will begin.
Sibiu ist perfekte Kulisse für den Start der Rallye. Heute war eine lässige Show und morgen geht's los.
German rider and stunt riding champ Christian Pfeiffer rounded up the opening event by rocking Sibiu with a tremendous motocross freestyle show. Enjoy the shots. The track of day 2 should definitely stop the posing of the prologue. 228 kilometers of tough, technically demanding off-road single tracks, steep, slippery single downhills, plus muddy deep holes were waiting for the riders, still fresh off the start. In the morning, the riders started at 1-minute intervals from each other, and after some good fast kilometers, the top 6 guys met each other again at the first sketchy descents. Plenty of slippage, plenty of possibilities to go down. These riders have to maintain a lot of control going through these water holes and over the highways with lots of people on hand to check out the action of this Romaniacs challenge. Somehow this pretty much reminds me of the Gilles Lallé Classic. Here's some technically difficult parts where riders really have to take care. One can see the technically skilled guys with trials backgrounds having the advantage, while on other parts the fast rally guys will definitely be faster.
Hier sieht man auch, ob die Trailfahrer sind die besseren. Die Heizer haben dafür wieder auf anderen Stellen, wo es flott geht, den Vorteil.
Well, this is one of those sections that Martin was talking about where it's very steep and very technically demanding on the riders. Tell me, how's the riding? Can't you see? I can't talk right now, man. For real. The race fever was definitely on with some of these riders going full throttle where they had the opportunity, but as soon as they got into some of the single track stuff, well, that made passing difficult. And on tracks like this, passing is definitely difficult. Very tight conditions here, and as we can see, an unsuccessful pass here could cause real damage if anybody was riding underneath that spot where that bike got away from that rider. Bartosz Odluki here looking slightly disoriented, nailing a tree, and pushing and shoving was vital out there for all the riders having to dig their bikes out of logs or any other situations they might have gotten themselves into. I can't believe it. My GPS, I'm 3 kilometers off the route. Also in all, the first off-road day of the Red Bull Romaniacs was truly special. Dreamlike scenery, the most difficult roads, and therefore 7 hours of very, very hard work for the fastest riders. So Depre is out in front of Obluki and Tianin, who are right here, and that's in the pro single class. As far as the teams go, Team Flat Out Fight Club wins the team class, coming in as a group. Well done, boys. This day was horrendously close to exhaustion. Everyone hopes it'll get a little bit easier tomorrow, and we're all quite done already. The landscape and the tracks are incredibly beautiful to ride, but navigation is a big issue too. I was doing quite fine today until I drowned my bike in a mud hole 3 kilometers before the finish line. I lost my second place and more than an hour cleaning the engine from water and mud. So let's see what's going to happen tomorrow.
Und es war nicht nur Wasser im Motor, sondern eben auch Schlamm. Es hat über eine Stunde gedauert, bis ich das wieder heraus hatte. Insofern konnte ich meinen zweiten Platz leider nicht halten, aber schauen wir mal, wie es morgen weitergeht.
8 o'clock in the morning marked the start of the second stage of the Romaniacs rally in Sibiu, taking them 220 kilometers away to Petroshan, where the bivouac was to be set, and the route to Petroshan was slightly different to the previous one, less difficult, and it gave the participants the opportunity to enjoy the view. The road went after a few difficult passages uphill, and like the previous day, a group of 3 riders was soon built, detaching themselves from the rest. Cyril Depré, Bartosz Obluki, and Kari Tianen could place 37 minutes between themselves and the rest of the racers, being out in front as a pack. Through open fields, through forests, along chains of hills and high meadows, the weather was beautiful and the racers did not need jackets. Although driving at a height of 2,000 meters is often very cold, the weather was perfect up here for these riders and they did a great job. Full throttle across the fields and the rolling meadows, and you can see these guys are out there just having fun when they have the chance to get open. But of course, there was still the technical passage and rock gardens they have to navigate through and deal with. None of the 3 riders in the lead group tried to break away from the other as the road conditions got better, and without serious difficulties they just followed each other and kept a close eye on one another, but they did lose a little bit of speed as they were sticking with each other throughout these sections through the towns and through the forests. That was full speed rock and roll. I just tried to keep my lead. It was wicked. South African Alfie Cox made a good race, gaining speed continuously all day long, so that in the end, when he tried to catch up to the first 3 riders, he was only 6 minutes off the pace.
Today not so much pushing. Today it was really nice. Can enjoy riding. Easier than yesterday, but really nice. We are in the top of the mountain, nearly half of the track, and we really enjoy it. Nice country.
Okay, so far. Very nice. Very nice there on top of mountain. Really beautiful.
Yeah, from time to time you've got to look at the display and check whether you're still on the right track. Exactly when I did that, I got a big tree branch right in my face. My nose bleeds, but it's all good. Great riding.
Today a little bit more easier than yesterday, but really the most unbelievable race I've ever done in my life. Romania is a country with very special enduro trails.
Extreme. It was incredible up on the ridge, and then the chopper. The leaders in the team class flat out lost over 40 minutes on their next closest rivals, Romanian team Egli, who took the lead, flat out forced to fix a flat tire and repair, and well, they had the serious exhaustion also to deal with.
Oha. Aha, schaut. Ui.
Looks kind of funny.
Schaut nicht lustig aus.
Stage 3 of the rally, not as long as the other days, only 175 kilometers, but it's a very, very exhausting course designed to break any remaining balls of the competitors by plenty of sections that need climbing, and ropes are there to secure any of the sections, and these riders worked late into the night last night working on their bikes, so not a lot of sleep was had. We didn't sleep too much for long maintenance reasons, and today will be a long, exhausting day and a lot more troubles to come. Early start for these riders, 6:30 in the morning, a little bit of fog out there, making conditions a little bit chilly, and not very many spectators to egg them on. While the radiators were boiling over in a fog lit by the shining heads of the riders, the overworked riders, and even the world champion needed a helping hand. But most of the supplied helpers in those sections have already moved up. I think the helpers went on with the first group and left us here. And I'm not going to say anything. It's the missing speed that makes the bikes and riders boil over out here. Dieter Happ seems to be dealing with Murphy's Law and is judged hard today. The overheating burned my clutch sealing, but with some engine oil I might get it working again. At least for some time.
Gott sei Dank mit ein bisschen Altöl helfen können und es schaut aus, als wenn es funktioniert.
Well, with most of the helpers up ahead of everybody else, there were some people on hand to give some of the riders a little bit of assistance up the rocky slopes, and even then it was difficult. But alas, there were some open sections of road where the riders could sit back, relax, and just let go, open it up full throttle, coming in over the dam to the refueling area before the last section of very hard riding before the finish area. A nice respite to put in a little bit of gas. At the beginning of the stage, about 5-10 kilometers in, there was a bit that was simply unrideable, and everyone was totally exhausted by then. Gruesome.
Da haben sie jeden eigentlich nur rübergetragen. Und da hat man sich ziemlich aufgearbeitet.
And there was still more racing to come. Not so grueling as the first part there in this section, but still plenty of thought process going on in the riders' heads. Lots of rocky sections, but they were able to open it up a little bit more on these service roads in the background, and giving them an opportunity to cool off their bikes and their bodies with a little bit of speed and airflow. It made the end of the race a little bit easier to handle, not quite as exhausting as the first parts. And the last section of tricky downhill coming into the finish area in this small little town. Nothing to do but fooling around for the first aid crews. There was no single serious injury reported throughout the entire event. Now that is a fantastic record. The last day through the Romanian wilderness was redesigned slightly after the riders' meeting the night before. The pros decided that they would take the not-so-tough team route in order not to extinguish the entire field before the finish of the complete race. 60% said to be exhausting on this one, with plenty of rock climbing and tricky, sketchy rock descents to deal with, but there were also some nice wide open spaces for the guys to open it up full throttle. Here we have Sibiu, the leader still, and a fantastic rider. Very good at navigating and racing at the same time, a good multitasker, and I'll tell you what, navigation was a big issue today, replacing mostly the physical demands by concentration and forcing the riders to take care of where they were going. It's very, very important. Alfie Cox, 9 times Roof of Africa winner, was doing quite well, and he's also a good navigator, but just wasn't fast enough to keep up with Cyril Desprez. Fantastic view from the top here. The guy's happy that they made it all the way up here just to be able to take in some of that amazing scenery. And still, some of the other riders struggling through some amazingly tight passages. While Thomas Gunther works to cool down his bike and scare away cameramen, the lead stays with Cyril Desprez, with second place going closely to Bartosz Obluki riding his Yamaha.
In the forest, I stuck the bike for maybe 5 minutes. I heard Bartosz come past me, and after I just tried to follow him, but it was not so easy. Finally, good race.
I was in front of Cyril a lot, and then I lost 10 minutes in the mud at the end.
It was big because
It was my turn because Cyril gets stuck Monday, so it was my turn today.
It's funny, you know, when there is 1 or 2 bike passing, there is not that small race anymore, and
fact,
then one time
I had no problem.
I was like, no, not in a river. Oh.
I've done many races in Finland, in Italy, whatever, but this beats it all. It's the perfect area for enduro riding. I've never seen or ridden anything like this before. On the last day, there was a festive closure of the race course with a tour in and around Sibiu, with asphalt, artificial obstacles, a river, and a slightly modified industrial ruin to be managed by these riders. While Cyril Desprez seemed to have forgotten something in his hotel, all the other riders lined up right in front of the Boulevard Hotel for the last race. And out they go with several thousand spectators on hand to check out this inner-city race and all the obstacles that have been provided to give these riders the challenge for the last stage of 25 kilometers of racing. Well, not only did the organizers add obstacles to the streets, but they used the streets and, well, the stairs as obstacles so that the spectators could get up and close and personal with the riders during this course. Lots of opportunity for the riders to go full throttle and open it up for some speed, but there were also some very technical sections, as you'll see coming up right here. Some of the riders had to navigate along the side of the river and then take a jump across the river, and this portion here, the riders coming up onto the top of storage sheds. Water or oil storage shed, could be either one, who knows, but one mistake there, and it's lights out for the riders. This is also a very unique area because they got an opportunity to use existing abandoned buildings, which is unusual for this type of enduro race, and I think the riders really dug it. Let's check out some of the pictures from the last stage of this race.
But all in all, I think it's been a really difficult race. I would say in 4 days, one of the most difficult races I've done. I know we have the Roof of Africa at home in South Africa, but that's only 2 long days. This has been 4 days and 5 days. The 5th day today was not a long day, but I think all in all a fantastic event, and hopefully we'll have a bigger entry next year in Romania. I'm hoping to come back.
For sure, this year's champ Cyril Desprez from France will be back to defend his title. Bartosz T second, Kari Tianen from Finland third. In the team results, Oliver and Eric Mucker from Austria for Team Flatout take first place. And that's goodbye from us and from Bartosz.
Ein Satz noch zu den Obstacles selber.
Hard Enduro.
Ich bin eigentlich total K.O. heute von der Rallye, die wahnsinnig anstrengend ist. Aber als ich das gesehen habe hier mit den Sprüngen über die Silos und mit den Obstacles, die hier gebaut wurden, war alles vergessen. Das ist einfach Spaß pur. Hier mit dem Gap Jump und so, das macht total Laune. Und da könnte sich was Neues draus entwickeln, irgendwie Urban Motocross oder ja, eine Mischung aus Speed Trial und Urban Motocross. Absolut cool. Man wird sehen.
The people are friendly. Nobody's going to attack you. Nobody's going to harm you. And all the people are waving and not upset because we're riding through the villages. And that's a good feeling inside. Nobody's angry. Everybody's happy. And that's really great.
Jetzt haben wir schon wieder fast 160 Kilometer, oder?
Du bist ein Hund. So ein Scheiße. Fuck. Was läuft so gut, gell? Den ganzen Tag halt hinterm Alfie und vorm Alfie, 4. Position und dann tack. Die blöde Trampelchen.
Ein super Tag heute. Wir sind als zweites Team in den Start gegangen und haben Rock'n'Roll den ganzen Tag gehabt. Echt voller Kampf und sind verdammt froh, da zu sein. Super.
When we go down before the canyon, you don't saw some mark? You know,
because
paint mark.
He was riding quite slowly, and I was following him because I get lost in the forest. Then I arrive and he didn't see, and I follow and I said, when it's possible, I scare him.
Yeah.
And I see one bump, made full gas, boom, and he was like this, but the corner arrived very close.
Boom. And he fell down. He slid. And the bike nearly fell down on the canyon, but really slow, you know. And then the canyon was there, and the bike on the angle.
Then I go off the bike, my feet slide, no? And the bike arrived, and I was in the canyon like this.
You saw some movement, no? Mad movement.
Well, quite a nice day. Of course, everybody are now quite tired. Not tired actually, but muscles, some pain especially on my arms. And when we climb once more, really top in the mountain, and then coming down from there, that was really hard. It was very stony and slow, so suspension really doesn't help at all. Just try to come easy down, but I feel my arms start burning.
Non, une bonne journée aujourd'hui. Ça a été un peu la course toute la journée. C'était vraiment la bagarre jusqu'à la fin. En fait, j'ai eu un problème de GPS dès le début et j'ai posé la moto dans un bourbier et je suis resté 5 minutes dans ce bourbier. Et j'ai entendu Bartosz Obluki passer sur le côté et il avait la bonne trajectoire. Donc après, ça a été toute la journée à fond pour le rattraper. Et là, à 20 km d'ici, j'arrive dans un CP et puis il n'était pas passé, il avait fait une petite erreur aussi. Mais en tout cas, encore une belle journée, une petite frayeur quand même. C'est jamais gagné quoi. Tant qu'on n'est pas arrivé et on n'a pas passé la ligne d'arrivée.
Well, I think most of the riders that will come in today will have a big smile on their face. Today was not a technical day, but a really good day for riding the motorcycle. You didn't have to push, except 5 kilometers from home. Martin, you know, he can't give you an easy day. And he put a stupid canyon here. It was crazy to go up there. You have to push, but not possible to go on your own. And but all in all, it was a great day, I think. I think everybody will be smiling after today's ride. The other days were not so easy.
Aujourd'hui c'était un petit peu dur parce que vu qu'il y a un peu de navigation, j'ai eu la chance d'avoir Alfie qui m'a rattrapé, donc j'ai essayé de rester derrière lui en me disant je vais voir comment ça va se passer, et en fait j'ai été à fond toute la journée, pas eu le temps de boire, rien du tout pour rester derrière lui. Mais surtout ce qui est important, c'est que ce rallye sur un parcours d'enduro, c'est un nouveau concept, je crois que c'est la première fois que ça se fait, et voilà, ça c'est la Roumanie. Et je suis vraiment convaincu par le truc, c'est vraiment quelque chose d'intéressant, et j'espère que Martin va continuer à faire ça.
Nein, heute war es ein geiler Freeride-Tag. Von der Früh weg eben leider das Los des letzten gehabt heute. Aber ich war voll motiviert heute und wir haben wirklich alles gehabt heute in der Früh, von Schlamm, Wald, Abfahrten, Auffahrten, Pässe, über 2000 Meter heute oben, wo die Luft ziemlich dünn war. Für mein Motorrad hat gespuckt, wie halt die Oma, aber es war richtig. Ich habe es richtig genossen heute. War ganz anders wie in den letzten Tagen. Heute war es noch mehr Freeriden und nicht Motorrad tragen und schieben. Also für mich war heute der perfekte Tag. Vor allem habe ich keine großen Probleme mit dem Motorrad gehabt. Beim letzten Tag habe ich ein bisschen was zum Kämpfen gehabt. Ersten Tag Kupplung durchbrennt, zweiten Tag Lichtmaschine ausgefallen. Heute ein kleiner Kopfschaden, aber ich habe das Gesicht gesehen und das ist richtig geil. Richtig geil.
Den haben wir vermisst, aber er ist da. Dass in Kenia steht. Aber in Kenia haben wir es angrenzt. Geht nicht mehr zum Starten, schon die ganze Zeit vom Berg aber nirgends mehr. Alter. Wahnsinn. Das war nämlich heute auch nicht ohne. Das Navigieren war das Schwierigste. Wir haben uns die ganze Zeit irgendwo reingelassen. Ja klar. Im Wald drinnen, da ist er nochmal gegangen, dann hast du gesucht. Wo? Ich bin im Wald mit dem Hapti fast zusammengefahren. Ich bin aus der Richtung gekommen, er aus der, dann haben wir so, jeder solche Augen und dann sind wir so, wow, was war jetzt, das hätte mir gefällt, weißt, im Wald, wenn wir uns getroffen hätten.
Das war vom Gelände heute wieder so was Geniales. Ich bin jetzt schon viele Rennen in meinem Leben gefahren, X-Track, in Finnland, in Italien, alles, aber das stellt alles in den Schatten. Vom Gelände und von der Landschaft her, das ist brutal. Also wirklich, habe ich noch nie gesehen sowas. Und das war ich doch auch schon ein paar Jahre.
Vater, du bist da!
Hello!
Hello!
Sie haben es alles beieinander, ne?
Ja, du und du.
It's been a little bit extreme the last 3 days, and you know, I don't know if he wants to have nobody finishing or does he want somebody to come back next year. So it was a decision last night, and all the riders said, you know, we've had 3 very hard days, and I don't think that the positions are going to change. So, you know, let's have one easy day, you know, and yeah, it was a decision everybody took, and that's what happened yesterday. But I don't think it was a much shorter day, because we still did some really extreme things today as well.
Ja, erleichtert, weil es ist doch schon mal eine ganz schöne Anstrengung, weil es sind so viele Kilometer, es kann so viel passieren, ein technischer Defekt, ein Sturz oder sowas. Aber ich habe zum Glück, bin ich super durchgekommen, ohne Sturz, ohne Defekt am Moped, das war das Wichtigste. Das war immer noch im Hinterkopf bis auf den letzten Kilometer. Aber jetzt sind wir im Ziel und jetzt macht es natürlich umso mehr Spaß. Mein größtes Rennen war das war eine super geile Strecke. Also das Land da ist richtig gemacht für Enduros. Jetzt bald werden in Rumänien bloß noch Enduros rumfahren, weil das Land ist wirklich dafür gemacht.
Apoi a fost foarte bine, a fost un concurs foarte bine organizat. În unele locuri au fost puține dezorientări, dar a fost foarte bine. Am mai participat la asemenea concursuri, dar aici a fost puțin mai dificil din cauza multor pietre. Atâtea pietre n-am întâlnit încă niciodată. Și ce mi-a plăcut că am putut să particip la un concurs cu campioni mondiali, cum ar fi venit Tienen, Alfie Cox și ceilalți. Deci a fost foarte bine, mi-a plăcut foarte mult și sper să se mai organizeze și anul viitor un asemenea concurs aici.
Unele concursuri au fost grele și celelalte mai puțin grele. Dar asta e foarte bine organizat și traseul super.
Im Großen und Ganzen hat sich eigentlich jeden Tag schön gesteigert. Es ist immer schwieriger geworden, immer länger geworden. Und für mich, also ich brauche jetzt definitiv einen Pausetag, 5 Tage. Rumänischen Boden flemmen ist einfach mehr wie genug. Und wenn ich morgen fahren müsste, ich müsste echt Pause machen. Ich bin finito, aber es war sehr geil.
I'm happy that I'm on the finish because we had some pushing in this race and I hate pushing the bike. I prefer ride, so I am happy that I'm on the finish and don't have to push anymore.
Ich meine, jeden Tag 200 Kilometer fahren und nie denselben Weg fahren und ein super Boden, das ist einfach ein Traum. Also es war super von Martin. Also er hat schon gezeigt, was er hat an Gelände. Also ist toll. Ist echt toll.
I've traveled to many countries, done enduro in many countries, but I think Romania is just somewhere very special for an enduro rider. And I think the organizers have done a fantastic job up until now, and that's very important. If you have a good day's riding, a good day's sleeping, it makes for every day perfect.
Ich war selbst auf einigen Offroad-Enduro-Veranstaltungen verschiedenen Formats und habe versucht, aus diesen verschiedenen Veranstaltungen, seien es 24-Stunden-Rennen, klassische Enduro-Staatsmeisterschaft, Motocross-Rennen und so weiter, das Positive aus aller Veranstaltungen rauszunehmen und bei mir in der Veranstaltung zu integrieren. Und ich habe sehr schwierige Etappen gehabt, sehr schöne, lange. Es war ein sportlicher Bewerb und ich habe versucht, zu schauen, wer ist der beste Geländefahrer. Und ich glaube, der beste Geländefahrer hat gewonnen.
Ja, wir sind ja mit dem Helikopter die Strecke abgeflogen. Da hat man schon gesehen, wie schwer und wie hart eigentlich das Ganze ist. Aber es ist eigentlich relativ wenig passiert. Wir haben nur ein paar Prellungen und Abschürfungen, so kleine Verletzungen, nichts Gravierendes. Ich denke mal, das liegt daran, dass die Jungs doch gut im Schuss sind und das Ganze beherrschen. Also die fahren schon gut, kann man nichts sagen.
Es waren zwar nicht immer alle zufrieden, während des Rennens vor allem, habe ich das öfter gehört, das ist zu schwer, das ist zu viel. Aber mittlerweile haben alle einen Smile im Gesicht und jeder sagt, das war geil, einige das Beste, was es jemals war und was sie gefahren sind. Und ich glaube, auf dem werde ich aufbauen und weitermachen.
Yeah man, I write about no big things that go on for all natural woman down. As the original man says so, my mates hit the ball. I've been searching you. My mates hit the ball. I could find you.